This is my summarizations of chapters 3, 4, and 5 of our textbook Reinventing Project-Based Learning by Susie Boss and Drane Cross. Chapter 3, Imagining the Possibilities, explains how we can use planning, creativity, and collaboration to create a better experience for our students. Planning more so means teacher planning. This means that when creating a project for students, teachers are considering all aspects that might go into the PBL assignment. This includes thinking about how to get students interested in the topic, how this topic relates to their lives, and if the project should be based on that, or even the ever-present question of what does this look like in the real world. Creativity means looking at a simple or basic assignment and thinking, how can I make this bigger? This also comes in part with planning, as this is where you realize what skills students will need for these assignments and what skills you hope they'll gain from them as well. This means not just asking yourself, how can I make this bigger, but asking yourself, what can I do to inspire them to think bigger themselves? This chapter also spoke a lot on collaboration. This means collaboration with other teachers in your grade, in other grades, in other schools, and even in other schools across the globe. Bringing in other grades allows teachers to bring in information a student might have learned the previous year or an experience the class had the previous year, and connecting that to what they are learning now, or what they might learn in the future. The book explains this as intentionally building off an earlier interaction that students have had with a topic not only causes students to recall and further anchor past learning, but also creates an opportunity to explicitly approach more expert thinking. This explains how beneficial collaboration between teachers can really be. All of these skills can be further used and improved by including technology and challenging kids to get involved and take this one step further. Chapter 4, Strategies for Discovery. Chapter 4 of our textbook focuses more so on how to create a project for project-based learning. Part of this is simply knowing what a good project consists of. One of the most important factors of PBL is student-guided learning. Your project should inspire kids to take the next step and ask the necessary or out-of-the-box questions that will lead to their own unique discoveries. For this to happen, it is important that students understand the material and that their time is being spent widely to reach the desired learning outcome. This can be done by connecting these assignments to the real-world issues and inspiring students to consider what the solutions might look like. It can then become easy to create new projects based off of the previous ones. Canadian teacher Robert Griffin explains how this worked for his students when he states, "Everything we have done using technology projects has led to another level of projects. We began doing SchoolNet grassroots projects for Industry Canada. Students built websites about our community. The skills they learned doing these projects led to our first collaboration, a project involving 6 schools in New Brunswick themed on Antarctica. These projects led our school in becoming a member of the Network of Innovative Schools in Canada. These 2 projects led to our school receiving our first HP grant. The expertise teachers and students gained in these projects led to our school being chosen to participate in a research project. By simply noticing what was working for kids, it led the school into an entire series of PBL activities." Chapter 5, Making Assessment Meaningful. In Chapter 5, our book discusses assessment. Particularly, it focuses on summative assessment and formative assessment. Summative assessment is the assessment that happens toward the end of the project or the final grade. In a project-based learning environment, this can happen through traditional means like essays, tests, or as the book suggests, a novel performance test that asks students to apply what they learned to a new situation. This assessment, like others, should also be graded through a rubric. These rubrics can be school-wide, a customized version of the school-wide rubric, or a project-specific rubric. The rubric should relate to the project and should be made and assessed through similar means. Formative assessment is assessment through the entire process of the PBL assignment. This means that the teacher is constantly assessing students' work and their learning developments. This can be through simple conversation or observance of group collaboration or even using exit tickets or reflections to inspire students to assess their projects, as well as give teachers a small look into where the student is. Milestone and check-ins also contribute to formative assessment. Milestones give students short-term goals they must reach or aim for by specific times throughout their project. This gives guidance and reachable goals for students to reach. Check-ins consist of short and consistent meetings between teacher and student to see where students are at and if they need any guidance. There is a multitude of ways to do this, and it really depends on what the teacher thinks will be most beneficial. These chapters were very informative on PBL and any project-based learning questions that I had, and I hope that this was informative as well. Thank you.